Hi, my name is Logan Stipes, and I did my presentation on Pink Floyd. So a little short biography. They're one of the greatest and most attentive rock bands of all time. They were started out in London in the early 1960s. The band was formed in 1965 by a group of art students. Roger Waters, Nick Mason, Richard White, and Syd Barrett. They were initially known as the T-Set. They quickly changed their name to Pink Floyd, inspired by two blues musicians named Pink Anderson and Floyd Council. In their early years, Pink Floyd is noted as for their progressive rock sound with intricate songs, their different soundscapes, and their complex arrangements. Their music often blends elements of rock, psychedelic rock, blues, jazz, and classical music, creating a unique and innovative sound. Some of their career highlights include their Grammy Award for the Best Engineered Non-Classical Album, The Dark Side of the Moon, which I actually have the original copy right here from '73. Another award includes their Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award from 2018. And then in 1996, they got introduced into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Some fun facts: The Dark Side of the Moon holds the record for the longest consecutive run on the Billboard 200 chart, spending over 950 weeks, which is roughly almost 18 years, which is pretty crazy. Their album The Wall was adapted into a movie directed by Alan Parker with a screenplay and the music by Roger Waters. Some personal troubles within the group. They dealt with a lot of personal issues with their member Syd Barrett, who had some pretty wild behavior and a lot of heavy drug use. And then the tensions just got worse with the band members between Roger Waters and David Gilmour, which eventually led to Waters leaving the band in '85. However, these challenges continued. Pink Floyd continued to produce music and maintain their status as one of the most influential rock bands of all time. Their albums, they have a lot of albums. Their debut album was Piper at the Gates of Dawn in 1967. It was more of a psychedelic sound album. Dark Side of the Moon, which I've mentioned before, that was their most well-known album. And it's known for their deep themes and innovative music for their time, which is pretty cool. That was in 1973, and then they released another one just a few years later in 1975, Wish You Were Here. It explores fame and loss with its hits like Shine on You Crazy Diamond. And then just 2 years later, they also released Animals, which is inspired by Animal Farm, but they talk about social issues. To continue, they've got another album called The Wall. They came out in 1979. It's a rock opera, kind of about isolation and trauma, featuring popular songs like Another Brick in the Wall. And then in 1983, they released the album The Final Cut, focuses on war and loss, with Roger Waters playing a huge role there. Then they released A Momentary Lapse of Reason in 1978. This is their first album without Roger Waters, with a more like mainstream commercial sound. And in 1994, they released the album Division Bell, with another album about Roger Waters, known for its atmospheric music and introspective lyrics. Pink Floyd's legacy. They made a huge impact on the world of music. They were known for trying new things and making music that was different from anything else. They told stories with their songs and talked about big ideas like war and feeling alone. Their concepts were famous for being amazing, or their concerts were amazing for being well known with their huge, cool lights effects and just a great atmosphere in general. Pink Floyd's music is still popular today. It has inspired lots of other musicians, and they're seen as one of the greatest bands ever. And that's it. Thank you.